Minister and Minister of Finance continuing his mission to clarify areas of the budget. Plans revealed for a proposed project in the Western District. And Marine officials weighing in on a disturbing viral video.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Wolf-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance continuing his mission to clarify areas of the budget. On Saturday evening, the DPM hosted a town meeting at Calvary Temple Church on Clive Avenue, where residents were able to get a better understanding of the government's fiscal standing and the need to make various adjustments. Italia Hall has our top story. Residents filled the church to hear Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Peter Turnquest explain why the decision was made to increase the value-added tax from 7.5% to 12%. He says there is currently $360 million in arrears, which the government will pay off responsibly in 3 years. The finance minister telling residents that since VAT was implemented, some $2.5 billion has been collected, but when the government took office, the account was overdrawn by $100 million, and overall they met a fiscal situation that is very serious, and it is time for Bahamians to face reality.
We've consumed the good of this land. We've benefited from the good of this land. It's time to pay. Some of it is not ours. Some of it belongs to generations before us. Unfortunately, they didn't take care of it. But we have a responsibility, as they say, when you know better, do better. We have a responsibility to fix it.
Financial Secretary Marlon Johnson says the breadbasket items will expand. He also encouraged Bahamians to focus on other parts of the budget that he says will benefit them tremendously.
The exemption on travel is moved from $300 to $500. And importantly, and I think this has gotten lost, is that licensed retailers, whether they're big or small, can now apply for duty-free import of clothes and shoes and apparel.
Residents then had an opportunity to ask questions.
It appears to me that we are charging VAT on customs duty, and that seems to be very unfair.
Freeport right now is like Beirut. We're just like exploded. We need to make it attractive again to encourage people to come back.
We did nothing to incur this debt on the country, you know. We didn't do this. Governments do this to us, you know.
I've never seen Grand Bahamas so broke down and beat up. It can take us to help build it up, though, you know, not just them.
Minister Turnquest and the Financial Secretary responded to all of the questions asked, assuring residents that the government is working to achieve the mandate that Bahamians have given to them. Just before the town meeting came to an end, former Ambassador Maurice Moore expressed his support to the Finance Minister, noting that this is the first budget that lays a sound foundation for the way forward.
We spent approximately $700 million or thereabout in paying our principal. And do you know what it is when you have to pay $400 million on your interest? Ladies and gentlemen, I call him often because I know what he was faced with.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News. Well, it was a busy weekend for police here on Grand Bahama. 3 males were arrested for stolen vehicles in 2 separate incidents. Reports say shortly before 1 p.m. on Saturday, officers acting on information observed a vehicle with 2 males wanted by the Central Detective Unit for stolen vehicles. Officers gave chase, and while in the area of Grenfell Avenue, they were able to arrest both suspects. Now, in the second incident, shortly after 2 p.m. on Saturday, officers of the Mobile Division, while on patrol and acting on information, went to the Kennedy Circle area where they arrested a male who was found in a vehicle that was reported stolen that morning. The male suspect was arrested and taken into custody. They are all expected to be arraigned before the magistrate's court early this week. Now, police also discovering a quantity of suspected marijuana in a derelict vehicle on Frobisher Drive on Saturday morning, and no arrest was made in that matter. Investigations are continuing. Principals of a major development earmarked for West Grand Bahama unveiling plans for the project proposed for that district. The Grand Palm Beach Acquisitions Limited, a subsidiary of a Canadian-based company, Skyline Investments, meeting with residents in the West on Friday. The company is interested in purchasing the former Ginn property that has been partially closed for many years. They say many opportunities will be available for residents once that project is commissioned. Here's Atalia Hall with this report.
Residents listened attentively as the investors made their presentation. The project will be renamed the Grand Bahama Bay and is expected to include a Marriott Hotel, a Ritz-Carlton Hotel, and a mega marina that will include 24 slips for mega yachts. According to the investors, 500 employees will be hired to help with the operation of that marina. Representative of Skyline Investment, Danny Rothman, says their biggest asset will be the local community.
We as a company have 20,000 employees, and we regard the back of the house as the heart of the house, because if you look after your staff, they look after your clients. We're going to have staff housing built close to the community today. We're going to build a shelter, a hurricane shelter for the whole community. In case there's a hurricane, you don't have to go to Freeport or elsewhere.
The developers say they will also construct pubs, restaurants, markets, and ice cream parlors that will all be operated by Bahamians. Another major project will be the renovation of the main boulevard, the guardhouse, and the golf course. Project manager Derek Gabe says persons will be put to work right away as local assistance will be needed. He also shared the plans for the first 14 months of the project once a heads of agreement is signed.
One of the crucial areas that we want to concentrate on is Old Bahama Bay. And in order to enhance the experience at Old Bahama Bay, the plan is to build a hotel that will exist where the lobby building is now and where Bonefish Follies exist. And it will wrap around the marina. This expenditure will be somewhere in the region of about $30 million.
The developers say that there are also plans to recommission the West End Airport, and they have solicited proposals to have the airport resurfaced. Residents were then given an opportunity to ask questions. Deputy Prime Minister Peter Turnquest says he is excited by the level of interest from residents.
What I think is very unique about the presentation that was made today is the level of local community involvement that they have stressed that they want in this project. There was questions asked about access to the property and access to the beach, and the developer has indicated that there is unrestricted access to the property.
Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, and Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, say they believe that residents are now more empowered following the meeting.
I believe that the residents saw that there is great opportunity here. The employment levels are going to go up. The construction activity is going to go up.
We thought it important to have a town meeting such as this because a lot of time information gets out there and residents are ill-informed. What happened here tonight was very instrumental in moving forward with the development of West End.
Now the first phase of the project is expected to be completed within 24 months and the entire project in 10 years once the heads of agreements is signed. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Atalia Hall.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.